Yo, welcome back to Kempf Fitness Professional, everybody. I have some Zen quotes for you. This came tonight from the reading that I just did, and they're about perspective and meaning. The first one is: do not allow yourself to become confused through desire or attachment to anything, which to me means that the words that we use and the meaning that we attach to those words is how we relate to things in our environment. So we know what is separate from ourselves. But the key is to not attach to any of those things within our environment because they are not us. And they are but a manifestation of something greater. They're just a combination of atoms and materials, right? So this leads into the second quote. To a sightless man, a ruby and a pebble are one, because he can't attach the meaning to them that other people can. He just feels the qualities of the materials. He feels the same atoms, essentially, the same components in each of the two. The only meaning that separates them is the meaning that we attach to it by the beauty that we observe with our eyes. So another good example is, I heard this, I believe this was on a Joe Rogan podcast, but it's relevant, is if you take a Rolex into the Amazon jungle and you tell them that it's a $25,000 watch, I mean, some of them are $200,000, right? You tell them that that watch is $200,000, they're going to laugh and be like, I don't get it. Like, why is this so expensive? It's just a watch. And then you give them a $20 watch and they go, oh, it's the same thing. Because it's made of the same materials, essentially. It's just the meaning that we have attached to it, this false ideal of value that we have created to create more separation, create more ego, more identity. And then the third quote is, to an ant, a puddle is an ocean. So that one, as opposed to the kind of negation or nullification, I guess, of perspective via the value we attach to them, we also have to realize that someone else's perspective might be completely different than our own based on their life experience and their relationship to that object. So the example there that I use is someone could get fired from a job, and one person, it could be the best day of their life. They hated that job and they've been wanting to quit so bad and start their own business, but they were a little afraid to, and then this was the tipping point that gave them that opportunity. The same situation could be given to another person and it can be like the worst thing ever for them. But essentially the same thing happened, and it's not good and it's not bad. It just happened. It just is. And so the meaning that we attach to it, the perspective that we bring to that experience will shape how that experience affects our perspective in the future. So as opposed to bringing our past experiences into that moment, the idea is to remain as empty as possible, be the blind man, and see no differences between the experiences that you have. So that way, your environment will not shape you. You will shape your environment. As opposed to reacting, you will be responding. And responsibility is our ability to respond. And I believe it is our responsibility to neutralize the factors and feelings and stimuli from the environment, neutralize them, and allow ourselves to find a state of emptiness and non-judgment, non-comparison, and then create our response based on how we want to respond, how we choose to respond. In Taoism, this is a concept called the Wu Wei, and it means non-responsiveness, or to respond with non-responsiveness. And the little phrase that I have written down on the back of my journal, these are some of the quotes that I've come up with myself, some good ones here, is pause, absorb, neutralize, respond. That, in my opinion, is the summary of the Wu Wei, to take your environment and learn from it, but don't let those experiences shape your perspective and your response and your reality. Essentially, you get to decide on what you believe. Thanks for listening, guys. Take care.